Anthony on Air podcast back for another episode. We've got plenty to discuss on this show, including an update on Ghislain Maxwell. We got a bunch of things to discuss with Miss Maxwell. Lots of updates there. Brian Laundrie theory on how he passed. The Alec Baldwin Rust saga continues. Biden falls asleep. Poopgate and new polls for him. Melania rolls her eyes over at Donald Trump over the weekend. Chris Pratt in, Bill Murray out on a new film. I'll tell you what that is. Mariah Carey has been defrosted. Bill de Blasio has a Trekkie blunder. And I had my couples date from this weekend. Is Jsabs jealous?
I'm a little jealous. Why am I not on that headline?
Are you jealous?
Couples date?
I thought you'd be happy to get rid of me, whereas she, on the other hand...
Yeah, but I'd like a little warning.
When I'm going?
Yeah.
All right. I'm getting new friends. There's your warning.
All right. It's fine. I'm good with that.
Jumpstart Coffee Company, proud sponsor of this podcast. I got a fresh brew right there in my Anthony on Air mug, which you can get at our store. Link in the description below. Jumpstart Coffee also available with the link in the description below. 15% off the promo code AOA15. All right, we'll get you some more.
I got to get some more. I had a cup today, dark roast.
That's what I'm working on right now. I got a little dark roast action going. Loving it.
Stuff.
Loving it. I got a problem. Well, I'll share my problem with you. We'll get into it. Let's go and update everybody on Ghislain Maxwell. So we had some pre-trial meetings, of course, going on. Prosecutors in the Ghislain Maxwell sex trafficking case are going to be allowed to use the word victim and minor when referencing accusers during the forthcoming trial. It was ruled today by Judge Allison Nathan. She's going to permit the word victim and, of course, minor. Nathan said precluding the word is both unnecessary and impractical. The defense obviously wanted those words banned. They ultimately lost. So good for them.
Yeah, honestly. If they're not a victim or a minor, what could you
I know.
That's what they are.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird move to be, but again, she's paying her defense team a lot of money to get, this is a move. As you saw, remember?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I feel like OJ is going to be a basis for all this, but there was a trial that took a really long time. It was in the public's eye, so we're going to go back to it. But they spent hours and days sometimes on little tiny itty bitty minute stuff.
Yeah, I know. I hear you.
So that's basically that. As the story goes, Ghislain has not requested a plea deal, and prosecutors have not issued any plea offerings to her. Maxwell has been charged by the New York federal prosecutors with conspiracy and enticing minors to travel and engage in illegal sex acts, transportation of minors, blah, 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 so on and so forth. She's being charged with sex trafficking as well. Maxwell attorney Bob Sternheim maintained Maxwell is not guilty of any crimes to warrant a plea deal. Maxwell spoke at the hearing only to say, I have not committed any crimes.
That's a little far-fetched, but okay.
She hasn't said much, and I believe this is one of the first times that we've actually quoted her at one of these pretrial hearings.
Right. Well, I only remember her showing up to one. I think it was to maybe enter a plea. I'm not really sure.
Right.
Remember the one where they did where they had the
with the van
sketch.
The sketch. Yep, all that stuff.
It's the only one that she's been to, and this is probably the second one, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So no plea deal. She said, "I have not committed any crime," and minor and victim will be allowed to be used in the court case. So there's your update, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, if they're obviously minors, you can't. It's not like they're not. I mean, what would you call them? They're minors. Is anybody 17 and under? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, I think the difference is like how does it feel to you when I say the victim or the minor versus if I say the accuser? The accuser doesn't sound as young or innocent. Right.
Yeah, no, I get it. I get their trigger words and all that. And
right.
It's a presumption of, like, if you say victim, that implies that they're on the receiving end of a crime.
Right.
Already. I get that.
Right.
But they are a minor. It's not like you're not calling them anything they're not. And if they're a minor, and this happened to them, regardless of who did it, they're a victim. Call me crazy.
I feel like I'm a victim after hearing you explain that whole thing for literally almost no reason.
Oh, so we're all on the same page? All right. Then I retract whatever. Whatever gets this moving faster, I retract whatever you
want. One cop believes he knows what happened to Brian Laundrie. More on that in a second right now.
You teasing son of a bitch.
Let's do our read for Jumpstart Coffee Company.
All right.
Here's my problem, Frank. You know this. You know this about me. I was basically saying, love the medium roast. Didn't think I would love it as much as I do. Now I'm drinking the dark roast again, and I'm like, I don't know. I think I love it more than the medium roast. I can't decide.
You know what? I like the dark roast. Like I've been coasting on the medium roast for a little bit. Tried the dark roast today. A little milk in there.
Coasting on the roast? What roast you coasting on? Medium?
Now I'm a roast coaster for the dark now.
Nice.
I've jumped from medium to dark. I gotta say, good stuff. What I do? Big body, dark chocolate and smoke. I mean,
yeah,
that's good stuff.
That's kind of the dark chocolate I'm getting. It's that like that bitterness to the dark chocolate. Just so good. And you do get that little bit of smoke in there. I would say it's more roastiness than smoke, but you do get a little smoky flavor, which is really nice.
So what does it for me, you make this and then you throw a little milk and you got that milk mixed with the dark chocolate. It's just, it's magic.
It's like that the other day I was out and I got that first whiff of fireplace. Somebody had their fire on.
Love that.
Cold night last week.
It's like you're in the country.
Yeah.
See, we live in New York State, not in the city, but we're close enough to the city that we don't get a lot of exposure to, let's say, rustic life,
real world living,
country, real world living. But there's not a lot of wood fireplaces. I mean, there are now. We live in Long Island, but when we were in the city, you don't get any of that. We have to go upstate to the country to get any of that wood smoke.
The good news is, no matter if you're living in Frank's world, in a city, if you're a country bumpkin or whatever, Jumpstart Coffee Company delivers to you. Order some right now. Link in the description below. Banner on the homepage of AnthonyOnAir.com. Either way you click it, put the promo code AOA15 in and save 50% off your order. 50% of their profits go over to the Navy SEAL Foundation to go and help the people that help us live a free life. So if you enjoy your freedoms or this podcast, and you'd like to help both the people that facilitate that, you can do so by ordering yourself some Jumpstart Coffee Company. The reviews are through the roof. Everybody who orders absolutely loves it. Makes a great gift for the holiday season, which is coming up. I'm sure I'll be talking about that more. Order yours now. AOA 15, save 15% off, as 50% goes over to the Navy SEAL Foundation.
So it's a lot of percentages.
Percentages.
A cop thinks he knows what happened and he's just able to say it?
Yeah, he is. He's pontificating. He's basically taking in all the evidence that's out there and giving his.
So he has nothing to do with the case.
He's not have anything to do with the case. Actually, I shouldn't say that. He's in Sarasota. He is the Sarasota County Sheriff. And I know that Sarasota, I believe, along with a lot of the other local municipalities down there in Florida, have been contributing or helping in the search. So it's not like he's from, Boise, Idaho. He's in the neighborhood. He's in the state.
Yeah, I guess. But, I mean, if you're affiliated with the case in any way, you probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, I guess not. I don't know. But you want to hear what he said?
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say no.
That would have been awesome. I would have moved on to the next thing.
Next story. It would have been pissed. All right, what happened?
He said he likely died by suicide. He was at a gathering for police in Florida, and he said, I quote, "That guy went out there, by all accounts, probably committed suicide, and he was right out there where we thought he was."
Where we thought he was. It took him 3 weeks.
Yeah. During the same event, Northport Police Chief Todd Garrison explained himself for erroneously claiming he knew where Mr. Laundrie was located. He made the comments at a September 16th press conference. In reality, Mr. Laundrie was likely already dead. He blamed the incident on his surveillance team mixing up Mr. Laundrie and his mother, as we've previously discussed.
I guess that guy, remember that guy that said he ran into Laundrie in a truck?
Right.
And said he was heading to California. That guy's going, up. Guess not.
Yeah, we got to track that guy down.
Yeah, he was wrong.
But here's the thing. I mean, I still would like to know if there was a weapon nearby. I mean, there had to have been a weapon nearby.
Well, it doesn't have to be nearby. I mean, whatever happened to him, they didn't find all of him, which leads me to think that
you think he got
dragged. The water, because it was flooded, that area. Water, if there was a weapon, the water could have moved that God knows where.
Mm-hmm.
Animals. If he's been out there 3 weeks, anything could have happened to a weapon. I mean, I would imagine it would be a gun. Can't imagine what other kind of weapon. I mean, unless it's a knife, but that seems like I don't know if that would be it. But let's say it's a gun. I mean, you figure 3 weeks ago, plus now the flood comes in, animals. I'm sure if it's anywhere, it's either buried under mud or it floated away. It could be a mile away for all we know.
Yeah. A lot of rumors going around that it's not Brian Laundrie. I feel like some of these started by our own Jsabs.
I think she's the rumor spreader.
She's in the camp of she doesn't believe that this is truly him.
I don't understand that, though. I mean, what more do you want? They did the dental records. Why isn't it him?
Over the weekend, there was rumors flying around that Brian Laundrie had a twin.
All right, now we're into soap opera territory here.
This is what people are saying. Facebook posts said Brian Laundrie has a twin. I know it. That obviously.
And what? They killed the twin? What? Even if he had a twin, what did they do?
I don't know.
It's still a dead Laundrie guy.
Yeah, basically. Basically.
I don't understand that, dude. That's not a good theory. But yeah, we're getting. I think I mean, for all the good that the internet does, we can count on maybe one or two hands.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ridiculousness out there, and I'm not saying it's hey, what if one of these theories is right? Who knows? But to say that it's not him when they've confirmed that it's him with dental records, I mean, I don't know what people want as proof, unless it's a huge cover up and the cops are in on it.
It's funny with all the other big conspiracy theories out there. I could see there being.
Yeah, when there's not a lot of evidence.
We talk about the Epstein conspiracy theories, and that's rolled up in a whole other big thing. And you're like, big government and all that kind of stuff, world powers. I get it. Yeah. This, it's just some guy who was an insanely large asshole who unfortunately killed his girlfriend. There's no
cover. The police they have his remains. Why would the police say, yeah, it's him?
To get out of looking bad, Frank, because they blew it, because he got away. Duh.
Yeah.
There was even, it's so funny that you were saying that about the internet, because you just triggered a memory that over the weekend I was reading this thing, and it was like, oh, Brian Laundrie's not dead. And I was like, okay, let's read this insanity. And it was a friend of his that's like, oh, sometimes it's hard to realize that he's dead. Like, I forget that he's dead. I feel like he's still there. And the headline was literally Brian's still alive in my eyes. And it's like, will you fucking
there should be a law. I mean, I like free speech as much as the next person, but there should be a law against misleading headlines. The headline should be not like, he's alive. And then it's like, well, we feel he's alive.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
I feel his presence still, and I'm like,
stop it.
Break. We get accused of being clickbaity, and at times we're a little teasy, but I feel like we're not clickbaity. Like if we tell you something's in the video or on the show,
we're not going to tell you, if there's listen, we're not going to be like Brian Laundrie spotted, and then we'll go, well, he had a spot on him, and that's why he was spotted.
You know what drives me absolutely insane? One of the earliest podcasts, this was pre you and Jsabs when I was doing it by myself.
The dark times.
The darker times. I did a story, and it was literally something that Tom Petty had said. And I read the quote of what Tom Petty said. Do you know how many people write in clickbait? I didn't hear Tom Petty in this video. It's like, motherfucker, this is, I told you what he said. Like, they're sitting there like, that's not Tom Petty. Like, no shit, Dick. It's called reading a quote. Like, by the way, it was a quote to a newspaper. There are physically no video or audio recordings of this saying. It was
So what was your title of the?
I forget what the title was. It was like Tom. I could probably look it up. It was like Tom Petty says, or something. Maybe it was one of the other guys, and I forget. I could look it up if you really want to know.
Was it a misleading? No, I don't care. If it was a misleading quote.
It legit. Hold
if
on,
it was like
popular.
Hear Tom Petty say blah blah blah, and you're like, well.
No, it was like Tom Petty says, blah blah blah, and they were like, I didn't hear Tom Petty saying that. It's like, asshole.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I get it.
You never said you were going to show a video of him saying it or audio of it.
I'm telling you what he said. Exactly. I'm saying what he said.
I can't.
Fuck, I can't remember what it was now. Or maybe it was Mike Campbell who was in Tom Petty's band. I can't remember which one it was, but it was like I said,
regardless.
I think it was this. Mike Campbell speaks about. Okay. Oh, Mike Campbell speaks about replacing Lindsey Buckingham in Fleetwood Mac because Mike Campbell was in Tom Petty's band, so that's what it was. And it was like, I don't hear fucking. And it's like, no, this is what he said. Like, this is just what he said.
People hear things or read things, and there's misinterpretations, but you never said hear what he had to say. Even if you say hear what he had to say, you're saying it.
I'm saying
you're hearing the actual audio.
Frank, that podcast is 3 years old, and people are still.
I think it's you. You're just a jerk, and they just want to ruin, just any sense of.
I mean, I don't even
know
how
they have.
Yeah, look at how young. Look at the youth and vigor on my face. Look at this. That's the other studio.
There's something on your face.
Yeah, there really is.
That is where the hell is that?
That was the old studio.
That was rough.
Don't make me go into details. Anyway.
All right,
so that's Brian Laundrie. This is before the golden era. You and Jsabs, as I like to call it.
I hear you. All right, so they say this one cop says he killed himself. That's entirely possible.
Oh.
They didn't... What?
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say. Thanks for bringing it back around again. Why didn't the other... Why can't they just say weapon? You think they just haven't found it? That he got dragged and they just haven't found it yet? I feel like there's got to be a gun there. I mean, I don't think the guy hung himself.
No, but I'm sure,
I guess it's possible that he hung himself and then the alligator ate the rope too, I guess, but.
He could have did a, throw weights in your pockets and jump in the water. I don't know. He could have did.
I don't think it was that deep. It was more swampy, marshy than like.
Could have been pills. Could have been anything. Maybe.
Oh, I guess it could have been pills. You're right.
You just had a handful of pills, walked into the water, and that was that.
It's not like you can get a really good toxicology report out of him now.
Out of whatever's left, who knows?
Yeah, I didn't think about pills. I guess it could have been pills.
We at this point we don't know, and I think what the coroner said, inconclusive, right?
Yeah.
I mean, so this guy's cops just speculating. I mean, he doesn't know the condition, especially someone who doesn't have firsthand knowledge and firsthand view of the remains. You don't know. It's just a theory based on the story, and it's not a bad theory. Yeah, he could have killed himself. He could have went out there, tried to survive, and couldn't hack it, and something happened. He fell, down a cliff. Who knows? I don't know how many cliffs there are in Florida, but he could have hurt himself really bad. An animal. Could have been anything. At this point, it's all speculation until they have some kind of. They said they were going to send the remains over to an anthropologist.
Mm-hmm.
Which no offense to anthropologists, but I didn't know exactly what anthropologists did other than teach anthropology.
I thought they helped start prehistoric dinosaur parks. That's what I thought they were doing.
Well, no, they spare no expense, is what I understand.
Or is that an archaeologist?
It's an archaeologist, but anthropologists saw the study, I think, of I didn't think an anthropologist did that. I thought an anthropologist studied like civilizations and social stuff. Why would an anthropologist have the remains of a you know someone's remains? What would they have to that a coroner wouldn't be able to figure out?
I thought an anthropologist is just somebody who picks all the clothes at anthropology. That's what I thought.
I think it could be both. I think you're right there.
Thank you.
That works too. You think they could legally call themselves that? Because
if you work at anthropology, are you not an anthropologist?
I think case to be made there. I think you have a point.
Thank you. An anthropologist is a person engaged in the practice of anthropology. How is that the
perfect? See, you
line?
See
how?
What the? Who? All right. So what's anthropology? Look up anthropology now.
Anthropology is the study of aspects of humans within past and present societies.
Yeah, civilization, society. Yeah, that's what I said. They study society. Why would an anthropologist know better about a person's remains than a coroner?
I don't know.
What does an anthropologist have to do with it?
Is he going to an anthropologist then? It doesn't make any sense.
Wasn't that what they said? Maybe I'm misquoting, but I thought that's what they was. The coroner was inconclusive, and they were sending the remains to someone else. Please let me know, because that if it's an anthropologist, it's weird. If it's not, then I'm going to look like a big jackass.
No, anthropologist. Yeah, they're sending them.
It sounded weird when I first heard it.
It's a forensic anthropologist.
You say that one word.
Forensic.
So they study the forensics.
It's the study of anthropology forensically.
Okay. Where are these people been hiding? Get it to them first. They're the experts. Give it to them every time.
Yeah, let's get that guy involved from day one. Let's see what.
Why are we half-assing it? Half-assing it with the coroner if the anthropologist can always do a better job.
Yeah, seriously. This one's tough, Frankie C. Last words of Halyna Hutchins on the set of Rust. So this is the young lady that lost her life in the gun incident. I'll tell you what, the memes are just brutal. I saw like 20 memes over the weekend.
Can we as a society just take a break?
People hate that Baldwin. I get it.
But you gotta look at it. This was an accident. If it wasn't an accident, it at least wasn't. You can't say it was 100% Baldwin's fault. He's used to being handed a prop gun if he has a gun.
Yeah,
it's a movie set. He's not like he thinks it's loaded.
Yeah,
I don't think I could be naive, but he doesn't seem to me like he's that kind of lunatic.
Yeah. Now I love Alec Baldwin, and I feel like everybody should know that. I'm a big fan of his.
Same.
I full disclosure, I've said this on the show before. I was lucky enough to do a recording session with him 1 billion years ago, where I recorded him, which was unbelievable. It was a real great experience for me personally. That being said, I'm not really in love with his wife all that much, and I'll share with you why. But let's go through the course of that day here as more details kind of come out. Her last words were, so he pulled out the gun. He was doing the test. Gun goes off. Her last words were, "That was no good. That was no good at all." Hours later, she was pronounced dead at the scene. For sure, just scary words right there. Lots of interviews been going on right now. 14 crew members, emails, text messages. Moments earlier, Baldwin had been preparing for the shootout scene inside a church by making sure the camera crew got its angles right for the cross draw with the FD Paeta 45 caliber Colt revolver, according to the fucking Los Angeles Times. So Baldwin said, "I guess I'm going to take this out, pull it, and go bang." He said as he gripped the holstered handgun, which was supposed to be loaded with dummy rounds, according to the report. Instead, a live bullet flew out of the barrel, and of which the actor was told it was a cold gun, referring to the production term that means that the weapon doesn't contain any live rounds and is safe for rehearsal. The The mortally wounded Hutchins stumbled backwards and fell into the arms of the chief electrician on set as blood poured out of her chest. Meanwhile, director Joel Suaza, who was reportedly struck by the same round, also dropped to the ground. What the fuck was that? That burns, Suaza yelled, the paper reported. Could you imagine? Like, you just feel this, like, burning sensation. Like,
not expecting it to be that.
Yeah. Baldwin put the gun down on a pew and repeatedly said, "What the fuck just happened?" Somebody screamed medic, and pandemonium ensued as crew members rushed around to stricken Hutchins. One of them, a boom operator, looked into her eyes and said, "Oh, that was no good." No, that was no good. That was no good at all, she replied. Within a few hours, she was pronounced dead.
God.
Yeah, brutal.
And if you see that, the interview, well, I don't know if, not really an interview, just Baldwin on the street, I guess, approached by paparazzi.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I watched that one.
He's distraught, man. He's
you know.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's hard because I've seen, again, all right, so, Frank's worked in the city. We've been around celebrities. I've worked in the city. I've worked in the Hamptons and radio and all this stuff. We've all, like, kind of been a part of this. And we've kind of seen things, like, even not in radio, like, even, like, at clubs or whatever, you come out of a club or a bar, sometimes there'd be people there and all that kind of shit. So, like, we've been around this. And you could just see how fucking brutal some of these people are, to them. And, like, I'll never forget, I've told the story before on the thing, the charity softball game that I do. I was at, like, a charity softball game. And the members of the media were pushing each other around to get a picture of all of us standing there posing. Like, it's the same, like, they were literally, like, pushing each other to get a fucking photo that
you're going to get. Everybody will get one.
Nobody was moving. Everybody was going to fucking be there.
It's unreal.
It could be insanely shitty. And so anyway, like I said, and I've been out in the Hamptons and I've seen people do shitty things to some of the celebrities and stuff like that. But there's this video. I'm not going to play it. I'm not even going to say who the company was who got it, but it was basically they got Alec on camera for the first time since this all happened. And I'm so glad you saw it, Frank, because I want to get your impressions too. But you could tell, by watching this video that these people were after him for a long time because he's up in Vermont or whatever, like hiding out, I guess, at a house or doing whatever he's doing. And he's got his fucking family. He's got 19 kids, the guy, an insane amount of kids. And you can see in the interview that he's literally holding his phone here in his jacket the entire time, filming the guys asking him questions. And he says to them at the beginning or even at the end, he says it a couple of times, but he alludes to it. He's like, okay, I will answer your questions. Like, he basically, you could tell he couldn't get out of it. He couldn't get away from it. He's got to get these people to leave him alone. And he says at the end of the interview, he goes, "Please, guys, I spoke to you. I told you everything I possibly can. My kids are in the car crying. Can you please leave us alone?" And your, like, heart pours out for some of these people. Like, even the biggest asshole celebrities. You kind of feel bad for them the way they're tracked down by the paparazzi sometimes.
Yeah, and I know people, this is a major thing. He's got to answer for this. I get that. But obviously, I mean, I can't. It's a gajillion to one that he would do that on purpose. That he would.
He's, of course,
he's not. He didn't do right.
Yes.
He didn't do that on purpose.
It's fucking
so it's
absurd.
Obviously affecting him. So give him they're investigating it. Paparazzi isn't going to get anything from him. If, they're not going to catch him. Oh my God, I got this soundbite. Leave him alone. If I know you got to get the story, you got to get a picture, you got to get an audio, but holy crap, there's got to be some kind of, I know there's freedom of the press, but these people have to, they're dealing with this now. Yeah, it's tough, but he's obviously distraught over the whole thing, and as everybody involved would be. His family, the woman's family, everybody. So it's like, have a little class and composure when you're paparazzi and you're trying to get a story. I get that, but going about it the wrong way if you're just harassing people.
People are acting like his grand scheme was to kill this young lady, and he put a whole film together just to be able to do it and get away.
It was obviously an accident.
And there's no way, like, there's no way he would ever be in trouble for this. He was on a movie set. They gave him the
Movie
thing.
set.
They
They
told him it was
handed him the
fine.
gun. Right.
Right. There's like just no way. And you know what he said in that interview, and it just makes you feel for this poor woman's like this woman had a husband and a kid. He said to them, he goes, first of all, I can't talk about anything because it's an ongoing investigation. He's like, and second of all, he's like, this was my friend. He's
Yeah,
like, we went out to dinner a couple of nights before. I took her out to dinner because we had worked on films before. It's like, that's fucking brutal.
It's terrible.
That's brutal. And these fucking guys are out there asking questions. And then at one point, the guy didn't even know the woman's name. And his wife, Baldwin's wife, got really upset. She's like, you better fucking know her name if you stood out here waiting for us. And
Yeah,
my
honestly.
kids are crying and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah,
But she got, honestly, I got a little, so you watched the whole interview?
No, I saw clips of it.
So I watched the entire thing, and he was there holding the phone, doing his thing, and she kept like walking in and out of frame, and she like had her phone out like that. And that really bothered me. That really, really bothered me.
Why?
because like, just don't stick your nose into it. Like, he can handle his own. Like, I've had this. I don't know if you've ever had this, but I've had to sit down my wife, A, and B, my mother, and explain to them that you can't retaliate towards people that are taking shots at me on social media. Like, you gotta take them, A, and B, I'm a grown man and I can handle my own self.
Yeah,
and I feel
obviously,
like
but
he
listen,
was doing that.
If that was happening to your wife,
I get
would
it.
step in.
Yeah, I get it. And I understand that she's being upset because it's her kids too. I totally.
Kids are crying.
Yeah.
And the husband, her husband is 2 feet away getting grilled by people.
Yeah.
Yeah, emotions are going to get high, and she's going to step in if she feels compelled to.
But what bothered me, I mean, that was like okay when I saw it at the time. It was the culmination then of last night. She put out a post on Instagram, and it was basically like, parenting through this has been an intense experience, to say the least. And it's like, listen, I understand that you're having a tough time, and I do have some sympathy for you. But again, just like when she released the statement originally, just shut the fuck up. Like, your husband went through this, not you. And also, this woman's husband and kid are going through it. I know the paparazzis are dicks. We just spent 10 minutes saying that. But stop going on fucking social media and trying to score sympathy points for this fucking thing. This guy is without a wife, and this baby is without a mother. Like, just shut the fuck up. Like, I get you're having a tough time. Call your cousin, your sister, your mom, your brother-in-law, and
people see social
them.
media as a cathartic thing, an outlet. People, you know that as well as anybody. People go on there and they express their emotions. Where else?
Yeah, yeah.
And they go on there and they, and a lot of times it's to family and friends, but in this case to celebrities, so it's to everybody. But when you do that, I guess what you're looking for is just words of encouragement. I don't know. People are human. They're trying to reach out and be, and garner a little, feedback from. I don't know.
Yeah, don't.
I know. It's not easy, but people get the urge to do stuff that's what they do. Sometimes they don't think.
I mean, if I'm being honest, I'm gonna be mad at you and mad at the paparazzi and mad at people for their memes and for being dicks to Baldwin when he doesn't deserve it. Then you got to get it too, because you have no business being in there looking for fucking sympathy points.
Yeah, no, I know.
While these poor people are without a wife and a mother.
I know.
Parenting's been tough for me. Just okay.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate.
Read the room kind of thing.
Right, exactly. It's unfortunate. I'm sorry you have to go through it. Keep it the fuck off social media while they're going through all their fucking shit.
Yeah, no, I get it. That makes sense.
You're right, Frank. It's a read the room situation. I get really mad at read the people when people read the rooms wrong.
Yeah, it's like no, not now, not now. But yeah, go through what you're going through. I get it. And if you want to reach out to people, call your friends and family.
And Baldwin a couple times in the interview was like, oh, honey, like he's like, you're making this worse. Like
It's hard though when you're a spouse. If, like I said, if your wife paparazzi was attacking, you're not attacking, but interrogating and grilling your wife, and you're standing right there, and your kids are crying in the car, you might say a word or two. You might butt your nose in a little bit. You're not just going to stand there. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
The social media thing, it's a little like, all right, think before you post kind of thing. That's some people, think they're doing the right thing, but they misguided, I guess. But in the moment like that, on the street with your kids right there, that I can understand butting your nose in. You're playing the part of a wife and mother, so in that one spot. So that I get.
Yeah, I do. I do have a little sympathy for that. But again, I do. But again, I just kind of like,
oh, I know. I get it.
He's got his phone out. Do you need your phone out? Like, now we're all taping each other. It's kind of like.
You need different angles.
I tell you, though, I do give him credit for talking to those guys. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's not. Yeah, you're right.
It sucks to have to give in to that. And you know what I mean? And.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. I'm sure he was prepared in some way to say something. Obviously, the police or whoever told him what he can and can't say.
Right.
So, but he, I guess it's not like he gave any huge, details of the investigation. He told everybody this was my friend, and we're all getting through this kind of thing, and that's all he could do at the moment. He gave them something so that they'll back off a little, I guess.
Right. Basically, that's it. You ever have to sit down, mom or your naked wife, and tell them you can't retaliate if people take a shot at me?
No, my mom is not really the social media savvy. She's on there. She's on Facebook or whatever, but she's not really, jumping around on all my things. It's and
your wife?
My wife doesn't really she doesn't really jump in like that. I tell I mean, it's not like I'm not getting any kind of crazy people doing anything weird. I get whatever negative thing I get. It's minimal. It's nothing. It's not like the people are nuts and crazy. People, if there's anything negative, it's, oh my God, this guy showed up about Trump. That's the worst I get. And it's like, all right, I can take that. That's fine.
I'll never forget the first time my mother called me and she goes, "Who the fuck is Jerry so and so?" I go, "I don't know who." I was looking at this thing. Do you know what he fucking said about you? I go, "What? Who? Where?" It's like, I'm on Facebook. This is
boy.
I'll fucking drive up to New York right now.
I will take down social media and they won't have any place to talk about you.
And then my mother, and then she goes, "Your father wouldn't let me write a thing, and he's gonna get it from me next."
That is classic. Your mom. Who would? It's like Seinfeld's mom. Who wouldn't love him? I forget. It was about Joe Davola.
Crazy Joe Davola.
Yeah, but it was like, oh, who wouldn't love Jerry? He's a wonderful guy. Who wouldn't? I can't believe anybody wouldn't like him. Something like that. And Kramer's like, I like him.
Yeah. But I had to sit her down. I had to be like, "Listen, I don't know if you know how this works, but you can't say anything." She's like, "Well, they shouldn't be allowed to say these things about you. You didn't do anything to them.
You're a wonderful boy."
And I'm like, yeah. Well, yeah. You probably
I don't think your mom really knows you.
No. That's a great question. How well do you think your mom really knows you?
I think she knows me a good amount. I mean, I haven't lived with my mom in a long time, but outside of that, I think she's got a good beat on me.
You think so?
I think so. I mean, I'm not overly complicated. I'm pretty straightforward. I'm pretty straightforward. I'm not,
You're very easily figured out. That's true. You're a bad example on this. Yeah, you're a bad example.
I'm very whatever, man. Just whatever.
Metallica and fucking sugary
Simpsons.
cocktail. Yeah, Simpsons t-shirts. That's
That's all you need. You got it.
100%. All right. Biden, lot to unpack here. He fell asleep today. Poop gate from over the weekend, and he's sliding in the polls a bit.
I don't understand the poop gate thing. I understand this. I saw the sleeping thing.
Yeah.
He closed his eyes at the climate summit for like 22 seconds.
Yeah, I would show that video, but it's literally everywhere. So if you really want to see it, you could see it. It's pretty hysterical. He's got his arm. By the way,
like,
this arms folded.
This is the classic president falling asleep pose.
This is I'm about to fall asleep sitting up pose. Yeah, it's hard to fall asleep sitting up without your arms closed for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't. I feel like sitting up. Whenever I've fallen asleep sitting up, my head would go either back or forward. I've never fallen asleep like this and remained still. You know, you close your eyes, maybe get a little breather. I know exactly what you're going to say next, too. From this laugh, you have Morse coded the story you're going to say next.
I just remember.
Picture it. High school. 1997. We're on the bus. Go ahead. Take it from there.
I'm sorry.
It's a great story.
All about it until just now.
It's a good story. But to be fair, with Biden and Trump and whoever else has fallen asleep in front of the camera, you know, it's always like this. You never see this. You know, that's what you usually see when someone's sitting up and they fall asleep. So I have to say, Biden, Trump, when I've seen them fall asleep on video, it looks like they're just closing their eyes. I don't think
why you got to drag Trump into this? Can we talk about the guy
any president, whoever falls asleep at any public thing? I've never seen the head bob, which is the classic "you've fallen asleep" movement.
All right, so Frank, quick, do you want to tell the story or should I?
No, you gotta go for it. If you can get through it.
We were on the bus going home from high school. Frank is sitting on the bus.
Crowded bus. I got a seat. You've got a seat. All right, I got it. So Anthony is sitting across from me on the bus. Where like the seats face each other, and there's a big open aisle in the middle. Maybe one or two people standing, not a lot of people. But the seats are all packed, and I'm sitting there just like this. Anthony's sitting directly across, maybe a seat or two to the left or right. I don't remember, but he's watching me like a hawk, and I'm there, and you could tell I'm drifting. Because the bus is silent. Nobody's talking. Everybody's just, it's a long bus ride.
It's a long bus ride. And I think it was in the wintertime, so the bus was like nice and warm.
Oh, it was toasty.
The heat.
And you're crammed in between two people, and you just, you're in from the cold. And the hum of the back of the bus.
The sun, and the hum from the back of the engine.
It was after school, too. So the day was done.
Yeah.
It wasn't in the morning or whatever. And
by the way, if this was now, I would have had this on cell phone footage.
Someone would have.
Pre-cell phone days.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't have cell phones.
No.
It's the dark times. So I'm sitting there. I don't know. My school bag's probably on my lap or something. And I'm drifting. Doing one of these. You know, for those listening, my head is nodding as my eyes are closing gradually. Then out of nowhere, I guess it had to be because I fell asleep forward and I wanted to correct myself really fast so that I didn't fall forward. So I threw my head back, and a dead silent bus. All you heard was like that bang, the back of my head hitting the window. Right behind, just boom. I was up.
You went. Oh.
Yeah, the rest of that trip was a blur for me. But apparently I made a noise. Oh God!
It was like drifting, bam. Oh.
And those bus windows, they rattled pretty good. They made good sound.
Well,
it was like
no,
hitting the boards in hockey. It was just.
well, I think but I think you hit your head on the ledge, though. I don't even think your head
I
made
thought I
it
hit
to
the
the window.
glass.
Oh, was it? I thought it was the ledge. That's how far back
I don't
it was.
remember.
Oh,
I still
man.
have the bump or the
Oh
dent.
God.
It was great. It was great watching Frank fall asleep on the bus.
And
Jsabs is
I
here.
wake.
What's up?
Sorry.
I wake up. I look across, and Anthony's pissing himself.
Hysterical. Because it was utter silence on the bus.
Oh my God.
Just utter silence.
Bang. This is when I fell asleep on the bus in high school and
Oh.
slammed my head against the window.
Fucking great. Absolutely great.
Ow.
Anyway, so Biden. Oh, did you guys? Am I losing you? Am I here?
Lost you for a second. You're back.
Okay. So Biden was at the summit today, and he was in his classic arms folded, sitting up thing, and he starts to. His eyes start. I will say, I was surprised, especially at his advanced age, that he wasn't bobbing the head a bit more.
That's when you know they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Other
he
than
was,
that, I gotta say, eyes were closed. But
he was.
did he
sleeping.
fall asleep? Is the
He
thing.
fell asleep.
You think?
He closes his eyes for a long close, then opens them, and then I think he closes for another 3 or 4 seconds, opens them again, and then on the third close, he is closed for like 20
22
something
seconds.
seconds. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's done.
And
Could've
then an aide or somebody came over to him and woke him up,
With the
asking him a
stick?
question.
The wake up Biden stick.
He was fucking out. He was out. And then I think within 35 seconds, Trump was on a press release calling him Sleepy Joe.
Of course he was. Guy never misses a friggin' opportunity. But
Look, he's sleeping right there. I see it.
I
Get me
wouldn't
the-
be sleeping. I would only be getting laughed at, not sleeping.
But he fucking fell asleep. By the way,
probably.
Poopgate is over the weekend. He went to go see the Pope, and then supposedly, like it was all like a public meeting, and then supposedly he disappeared for a while, and he left later than he was supposed to, and so the rumor was that he had a little whoopsie daisy,
He
and
could have gone to the bathroom. Doesn't mean he crapped his pants.
I think they were kind of like that was the rumors
How do they
going
know?
around.
It could have been a rumor, but
Yeah,
I don't get where everybody got this whole he pooped his pants thing.
I
I
don't know.
don't get that.
That was a strong
Probably
rumor
because there
going
was
around.
stains on his pants.
Well,
That could be it.
I don't think there was.
I can wait for that picture,
yeah.
I don't think there was.
or I can wait for it.
Yeah, if there was stains, show me the stains. I don't think there was stains.
No, I didn't. We didn't. There was no stain shots, but there was. It was basically like, where is he? It's like he was gone for the exact amount of time that you have to be gone to fix a shit pants situation.
Oh,
What
so
is
then,
that?
yeah, definitely.
What is that amount of time?
22 minutes.
I was just gonna say. I was gonna say 18 to 22 minutes.
That is the designated time.
Yeah, you know why? Especially with his age, because he probably fell asleep while he was cleaning his self too.
Yes,
Hold on, I have to sit down for this.
as one does.
He's only 2 years older than Trump.
I know, but it's like a world away. It really is.
Yeah, but you have to admit he looks like he's 90 years older than
He does
Trump.
look
Yeah.
old. He does. That's true.
Like
but
Trump is vibrant for his age.
He is.
Like, you could say he's high on life, or he's doing bumps to keep it going. I don't know what it is, but he's that guy's moving and shaking throughout the day. And Biden
Dying.
looks like he's gonna die at any moment.
dyeing his hair. You never know.
Yeah, whatever. He's putting the orange in his hair. He's spray tanning his
a big-
face. He's
Big swoop.
fucking making it happen. Biden
know
looks
what
like he's
reminds-
gonna fall asleep.
You know what it reminds me of is that that Seinfeld episode, of course, where George gives Elaine the advice. You know, schedule one of these late night meetings, 5:00. You know, but these old guys, by the time at 5:00 rolls around, they're wiped. How did we get back onto you?
Because it wasn't his father. He was
It
trying
was
to get
Jerry's
rid of,
father. Get
Yeah.
out.
Oh God.
which is the truth.
I
Anybody-
just zoned out there. I really just zoned out
Oh.
there. I'm back though. I'm back.
Get back. You know, you got to get on board with Seinfeld because
No, I know pretty much every episode because of that guy.
But it's the truth though, because anybody schedules like a 3:15 meeting with me, it's like, what are you trying to do to me here? That's my little post lunch coma time that you're trying to fucking
Yeah, that's not good.
Have me talk about real stuff in.
Give me a nice 10 a.m. meeting, and that's it. Don't bother me for the rest of the day.
Yeah. But the last thing I wanted to touch on is over 40% of Democrats in a recent poll feel like their party would have a better chance of winning in 2024 if Biden was replaced at the top of the ticket. 44% of Democrats and Democrat-leaning independents want another candidate on the ballot. 36% want to keep Biden, and 20% aren't sure just yet, according to a Marist national poll.
I could see Buttigieg. I thought he would be good.
Who?
Really?
I don't know. I don't know any of these people.
Pete Buttigieg?
Oh, you say
don't
his
think-
name weird.
Buttigieg.
No.
Buttigieg.
How do you say it?
No wonder
It's
I.
like
I
Buddha
thought-
and Judge. Buttigieg.
By the way, if you say that
No.
really fast, that's the exact sound that Frank's head made when it hit the glass. Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
A little bit. Made that sound a little bit.
I know someone growing up with the same last name, and we pronounced it totally different.
How?
Buttigieg.
Well, nobody says that. It's in terms of Pete Buttigieg.
Yeah.
No, I've never heard anybody
I never
say
heard
Buttigieg.
Buttigieg.
That's
why I said
all
who-
you hear.
That's what I was saying. Who
Buttigieg.
the hell is Buttigieg?
Pete Buttigieg.
I like
That's-
Buttigieg better.
No.
Yeah, it's-
Is that the way?
No,
Is that the way
nobody's-
he says it?
yeah, that's the way it's said on
Buttigieg.
everything when he was running. He was running for president, and he.
No, I know that he did, but
Whenever they said his name, it was Buttigieg.
really.
And now
Definitely
he's
wasn't
running
Buttigieg.
Now he's
No,
running
people say Buttigieg. Like that's because it's spelled the same way, and that's how they pronounced it.
Well,
Isn't
either
that
way,
weird?
That's
he's
fine.
ruining the supply chain, and I don't think he can be elected president after
Well,
all that shit.
Buttigieg isn't ruining the supply chain, is he?
But
no, Buttigieg is.
I find this interesting because it's like the first time we heard a poll. Ginny was so happy with that. The first time we ever heard a poll of maybe people want to replace Trump was a couple of weeks ago. And now this is the guy that's fucking in office, and they're like, yeah, maybe we should put somebody else in there, which is a pretty bold move to walk away from the person who's got the job right now.
Well, we got 3 more years. Anything can change. His poll numbers can
3
go up. His
more
poll numbers can go down.
Yeah.
But
How many
we're
more
not
times
even
can he
halfway
fall
through.
asleep in 3 more years? A lot.
Ain't nothing going up with that guy. I'll tell you that right now. Ain't
You ever-
nothing going up.
Do you ever though? This is not a defense of him, but you get in that situation? Well, we know Frank has been, where it's like warm, you're fucking exhausted, and you just start your eyes start closing a little bit longer.
especially at a conference. You ever go to a conference?
It's boring.
No,
and they're
I'll tell you right now.
yapping.
I've never been at that point.
Really.
Never. No.
You've never dozed in public, like if you're in a meeting or just sitting there, like in
Nope.
school. You've dozed off and not fallen asleep, but you've done maybe one of those.
No,
in
not
school?
even.
Get
Nope.
the hell out of here.
Seriously, I've never. I don't
At
know.
an assembly
No.
or a play going on in school, you just freaking.
No,
When
Frank.
I-
I was in the plays. Come on.
When I worked at CBS FM in the city, I used to take the express bus home. And for people who don't know, in the city, that's like a regular bus, but the seats are like a little nicer. Like there's like cushion
Much
seats.
nicer. It's like a coach bus.
Yeah, it's like a coach bus.
I used to take that too.
And so
Bougie.
I fell asleep on the way home, and I woke up in Rockaway, literally like Seinfeld. I woke up in Rockaway, although he woke up in Coney Island. I woke up in the Rockaways, which was like way past where I live.
Yeah, you
I
know
was
what's
like,
funny?
oh,
I never
shit.
did that either.
Never fell asleep on the way home. Oh my God.
You haven't lived.
I used to be good at it. Like I used to time it. I used to fall asleep by the time we hit.
Your mental
I worked
alarm goes off.
on 42nd Street. I used to be out cold by the time we hit 57th. I was dead before we hit the bridge, and then you wake up like 5 minutes or so before you're not magically. It was crazy.
Yeah, your mental alarm. You just know. You get like an external, internal kind of marriage
Yeah.
going on where you're able to hear certain things, and you're like, oh, this is my stop, and you wake up and you're good to go.
Yeah.
I never missed the stop. I've
My
always fallen asleep though.
Now, every time like I hear this about Biden, I always think of my friend's stepfather. He falls asleep anywhere and everywhere within minutes of like any family gathering. He's asleep.
Everybody has that family member.
You
That's me now. Yep, that is
don't
me.
be that person.
1,000,000,000%. If I it comes like Saturday, Sunday, if I'm doing something with the like if we go out or whatever and we come back home, I hit the couch, I'm out within a minute or two for like an hour.
No, I mean like they'll go to just someone's house and within 5 minutes he gets there and within 5 minutes he's asleep.
Yeah.
Anywhere. He's been at weddings and he's fallen asleep at the table within 5 minutes.
You got to grab those snoozes while you can. Every now and then you got to work them in somehow.
Mm-hmm.
You got to get those snoozes any moment you can get them. You grab them.
That's what she said.
Right.
I'm with that guy 100%. I'm the same
If
way.
you can get away with it, God bless.
Yeah, you know how many times that we've gotten together and I've been like, I just want to go off and take a nap right now.
Oh,
So
really?
bad. Oh my God, you people are so
You know what?
boring.
No, I'm not gonna even say what he
I do that
says.
at family things. You go
And
to
fuck
like,
you.
Say it.
And
Say
fuck
it.
you.
Who? Oh, him. No, when you go to family like Thanksgiving or something, you eat the first course, you sit on the couch and you're out.
Oh, fucking
That's the best. Thanksgiving snoozes on the couch.
After
no.
you-
Classic.
It's just all the stuffing and the turkey and the gravy and the biscuits and the mac and cheese.
And
You
the
just
dim
carve the
lighting, and you
fuck
just
up. And you know what's funny? I can remember being a kid and watching my parents, my grandparents, all be on a couch like this, head
Yeah.
back.
There you go.
Wide
What's wrong
open.
with them?
Go,
What are they
what the
sleeping for?
And now I'm like half
All
their
makes
age and I'm
sense.
doing it. Yeah.
It all makes sense now.
It's crazy. I don't have the footage anymore because it was on somebody's Twitter and now it's like gone. But Melania had a big fat eye roll on. I don't know if it was towards the president or somebody who was talking to the president. But Trump and Melania went to the World
Braves,
Series,
yeah,
went to
well.
the Atlanta game, and somebody said something, and she literally gave it a Seinfeldian. And she was like, she gave the big eye roll.
Oops.
I don't know what that was.
She's known
but-
for those looks. The eye
Yeah.
roll, the hand slap, the I am not interested in whatever's going on here look.
Yeah. Which give her credit too, because I mean, she knows there's a camera on her like all the time.
She's not hiding
Right.
it.
She is not hiding that shit whatsoever.
Yeah, she's like, I don't care.
she does not care. Chris Pratt is in. Bill Murray is out. The voice of Garfield.
So you can't call this political. Like
This
the
is not
Tim
politically
Allen,
motivated. No.
Tim Allen thing. Why would they replace Bill Murray? Was a great Garfield.
Here's why. Have you ever heard Bill Murray talk about Garfield? All he does is
Oh, he
shit
hates
on
it,
that
right?
movie. He hates that fucking movie.
Oh, I don't even
Well-
remember that movie.
Oh,
A
yeah,
lot of
that-
people don't.
Well,
I didn't even know there was a movie. How about that?
Well, the
Yeah, it was-
first one he did, they made the movie, and then they came to him and they were like, you want to voice Garfield? And I think was this the Coen movie? He goes, all right. So for people who don't know, Bill Murray doesn't have an agent. If you want to get Bill Murray in a movie, you call a phone number and you leave a message, and then like whenever he feels like it, he just checks this 1985 answering machine, and if there's something on there that interests him, he'll call you back. Like that's how fucking gangster Bill Murray is. I love that.
You don't need to do a thing.
So they call and they go, Bill, we got this movie, blah blah blah, and Joel Cohen is directing it, and so he gets this and he goes, wow, Joel Cohen is doing Garfield. That's amazing. So he's like, I'm going to do this because he thinks it's one of the Cohen brothers.
Cohen brothers.
Out on his own, doing his own thing, but it was some other Joel H. Cohen or something. It's not even spelled the right way. So he shows up on the fucking set the first day and he's like, who the fuck are you? He's like, I'm the director. And he's like, oh shit. So
But
he's
what's
like,
good about it, I mean, not to cut you, I'm sorry to cut you off, but
Yeah.
when Garfield was when it was the cartoon, everybody compared that voice to Bill Murray. Everybody said he sounded like Bill Murray. It was
Like Bill
Lorenzo
Murray.
music, but
Right.
it was sounded just like Bill Murray.
right.
But go ahead.
But supposedly, so he gets there. He's like, okay, let's get started. And they're like, oh no, the movie was done already. They just wanted him to come in and say the words, and that upset him greatly.
They just wanted here. Just read these lines that are
I'll
already
move
done.
through it quickly, Jsabs. I promise.
You saw that, okay?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
What? What's wrong?
So
What are you bored about?
they had the whole so everything was basically done. So he voiced it. He made them change a couple things, and then he goes, "Listen, he goes next time. He goes, if there's a sequel, if this works out, he's like, I'll start. Like I want to be there to write the script with you guys and make sure it's funny and blah blah blah." And I don't know if he was locked into the second one or whatever, but they did the same thing to him on the second one. They called him and they're like, "It's done. You can come to voice your parts," and he was really really mad about it.
You mean he wasn't in on the writing for A Tale of Two Kitties?
And how do you fucking cut out Bill Murray?
You don't.
He's one of the funniest people that has ever existed.
If you have a chance to write with Bill Murray a movie,
Who doesn't take that?
you friggin' get him in on that. And if he
You don't
can't
think
make
Bill
it, you
Murray's good?
reschedule.
Janine?
I mean,
Oh, I can't with you.
I,
How do you?
I-
It's Bill Murray. He's a legend.
he reminds me of someone that we know, not in our group, but like branched out. If you get the person, you're good. You're good. He's very dry. I think he's like more like comedy in like the 80s and the early 90s. I don't know. I don't think he's really funny. I know.
what are you, a
Shocking.
Sony executive?
I
This
think
is
he-
basically what Sony said when they replaced him with Chris Pratt.
I think he's very like a very dry sense of humor. And maybe the 80s and 90s when it was like cornier times. It would have been funnier. I'm sorry. Am I harsh?
Controversial take.
Bill Murray is a
No,
legend.
you're just crushing our childhoods.
Sorry.
It's okay. You'll be judged in the comments. You'll know.
Thank
if
you.
you're- You'll know
Comment-
if you got something here or you don't.
Comment below. Right.
That is brutal. Bill Murray is awesome.
Um,
But Chris Pratt, apparently he seems to be voicing everything now.
Well, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt. I've had enough of the new Chris's. I honestly.
There's so many Chris's I can't keep track.
Yeah.
Evans, Pratt, Hemsworth, Pine.
Damn.
Oh,
a
I
few
forgot
more.
about. I couldn't tell you this.
He's in Wonder Woman. There's a bunch of Chris's.
Yeah, it's gotten out of control. Although I do love Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt is, you know, what's an underrated movie? 5-Year Engagement. You ever see that one?
Mm-mm.
Emily Blunt and Jason, fucking whatever from How I Met Your Mother.
Oh, I forgot that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't remember if I have seen
Not a
this
fan
one.
of his.
Chris Pratt.
Really?
They're all in this great movie about this couple that they're basically on and off engaged for 5 years, and all this stuff keeps happening to them, and people around them are getting married, and who's dying, and all this shit happens, and it's one of the funniest movies ever. Every song in the movie is a Van Morrison song. Like the entire soundtrack is all Van Morrison.
Oh,
They made
God.
this. Did they make this movie for you?
They basically did. They
I'm surprised it wasn't a Dave Matthews soundtrack.
I know. You like Van Morrison? Really? Like a
love
big fan?
massive. Like even Are You Insane? Brown Eyed Girl.
What is Van Morrison?
Brown-eyed
Bill
girl.
Murray.
Brown-eyed girl.
There's nothing holding us together anymore, Janine. Do you know that?
You know, there's nothing, right? All right.
What's wrong with Brown Eyed Girl?
I don't hate it. It's not like I hate it like I hate
Bill Murray.
Elton John songs.
Man,
I don't love like it's not horrible, but I
It's
just think it's okay.
played out?
I think it's a little played out. I do.
Well,
Well,
of
the
course,
worst-
it's a huge
It's
hit.
I mean
but,
it's you know,
that's
I mean,
the worst case scenario
years.
for a song.
he's got so many other Gloria, The Way Young Lovers Do, Sweet Thing is one of the most beautiful ballads of all time. Caravan, Cleaning Windows. All right, I'm gonna stop. There's nobody better than Van Morrison. He rivals,
Nobody.
Like that. He's
He
great.
rivals
But,
Dave Matthews.
ooh, wow.
You
That I never thought.
Who
you'd
would
say.
you rather?
No, Dave is more my guy because that's my time. Van came before.
Right.
I caught up on most of Van's catalog. You know,
Late to the game?
yeah,
Catalog.
he was hitting in the 60s and 70s.
You just don't like classic stuff.
You know what? I really don't. I'm not a
You like the newer things.
yes, I
Nothing
think
wrong
you're
with
right.
that.
I think you're right. I think like it's not my thing. You know, people get excited when when this music comes on at weddings and stuff, and they're like pumped to hear it, and they sing and they, scream and they dance. And meanwhile, I'm like, when's
Yeah,
Nicki
you might be
Minaj coming
sick of
on?
the song.
And maybe that's
but
it. But I'm just not a classics person. I don't think I'm not.
Beatles,
Beatles, I'll do.
Rolling Stones.
Yeah, but it's not like I go in my car and I search for these songs.
I understand that.
You know what I mean?
I could get that. I understand. But you got to at least appreciate the fact that these songs are great.
Into the
Even
Mystic?
though you've heard them a million times.
Is there not a Into the Mystic is one of the
She's
greatest.
Not gonna know.
You don't know
I
Into
think
the
the
Mystic?
only Van Morrison song you know is probably Brown Eyed Girl.
No, it's the other one. Another one too. I don't know.
Glad Tidings. I mean,
I have to hear them because I don't know the names.
Right.
So we can't play them right now. So.
No, definitely not.
But Chris Pratt as Bill Murray, as Garfield. I mean, you're trying to get to the younger audience. I get it. If you put Bill Murray in it, the kids aren't going to go crazy about Bill Murray.
I guess
right.
not.
They're going to be like me. They're going to be like, who the fuck is this old man and
You're
his
right.
corny ass?
Yeah, you're right.
Man.
But doesn't that make you sad though? Like that your generation of people are kind of like.
It's weird though, because when we were kids, we appreciated the older actors. We were into them. We weren't just about the new people.
I definitely was.
Me too.
I don't know if everybody was like that though. I don't know if most people were like that. Like my grandmother praised like Jimmy Roselli and Frank Sinatra and Tony Bennett, and I love them all too. I don't know if kids are like that, or if other kids were like that back then.
Because they have more of a variety now, and they have. When we were young, all we had to listen to and watch was what our parents listened to and watch. Now kids have their own music, their own TV shows, and they have their own variety. They don't necessarily listen to what we play for them.
That's true. I mean, like, except my kids who will grow up liking Nicki Minaj and Notorious B.I.G.
Well, that's the music of today. Even when we were kids, our parents listened to the music of 20 years before.
Right, exactly.
You're at least exposing them to today's music, not 20 years ago music.
There's nothing more exciting. Like, okay, my kid is into Ninja Turtles a little bit, and like that was kind of fun, but he's starting to get, because the new Ghostbusters is coming out, he loves movies. So his big favorite thing to do is to go on Fandango and watch all the trailers.
Stop it. That's so cute.
So he watched Ghostbusters, and I told him, I'm like, Ghostbusters was around when Daddy was a little boy. And he's like, it was? He's like, this isn't the original? I'm like, no.
Oh, nice.
It was an original. So he
watched. Show him that?
He watched the original the other day, and he was singing the fucking Ghostbusters song.
Oh, the song is that by itself.
Yeah, I was so proud. I was like, this is great.
That might be the catchiest song of all time. Once you hear it, it's the biggest earworm.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't go away.
I think I appreciate older movies, and I think like 80s and stuff, rather than, I won't say like 40s or 60s. I'll appreciate the 80s movies rather than like 70s and 60s music, if that makes sense.
You mean 70s
Look at your faces.
Movies or music? Because you said music.
No, I mean,
you mean
like
music.
I appreciate
you like
music.
80s movies better than 70s music?
I mean, like, I think I appreciate movies more than I appreciate music in that aspect.
Okay, but do you like 80s movies? Are you one of these people that are like, oh,
No, because I'm not like those are the best, whatever. But because there's a certain movie that me and you thought, yeah, it was overrated, but this guy loves.
You didn't watch it as a kid, though. You
awful.
didn't watch it as a kid.
Awful. But what would you say? Like, what was your favorite time period of movies? Was it like the 90s? When did the Britney movie come out? What was that fucking called?
Oh, what was that called?
Crossroads or some shit?
Crossroads, right.
Oh, that's a good. Wow, you guys fucking knew that and I didn't. Fast.
Starring Bill Murray co-star Dan Aykroyd.
Oh, was
Very
he in that?
good.
He was in that. He played her father?
Father. He did.
All right, listen, speaking of 90s, Mariah Carey has been defrosted. Did you see her TikTok?
No, they defrosted her for the holidays.
Yep. She on Halloween night, she put out a TikTok where there's like pumpkins and everything, and it's like all this Halloweeny stuff, and then you just see her appear behind it in her fucking red Christmas dress, and she just smashes the shit out of the pumpkins. Like fucking it's MARIAH time, baby.
All right, see, that's brilliant. I like
It's
that.
good. It was
That's
funny.
good.
I have never, by the way, and I don't know if this is because I'm a sad, pathetic loser, but I was home. Obviously, Halloween we did with the kids, and then got home and was watching TV. I watched the World Series a little bit, was watching football. It seems like at 3:00 on Halloween, they turned Christmas on because it was
Really?
one Christmas commercial after the next. And I even went on YouTube and I was watching some videos, and I was getting hit with Old Navy Christmas commercials and Target Christmas commercials.
Yeah, man.
They turned it on yesterday.
Off and running, baby.
It is Christmas.
Well, I'll tell you something. We went to Lowe's Saturday, and obviously they have all the Christmas stuff out, and they have all the blow-ups, and they also have the outside decorations. And there was something I really wanted, but I said, out of principle, I am not buying this before Halloween. I am not fucking doing it. And the guy was like, you should, because we sell out very quickly with this. And I was like, I love this, but I cannot buy it for Halloween. He's like, it's tomorrow. It's one day. I go, can't do it. I can't do it.
Come on now.
I was
Can't
going to
do
say,
it.
you screwed yourself. You're not going to see it again.
No, I'm not gonna see it again.
It's gone.
You missed out.
Actually,
Hey,
I was gonna go tomorrow. Go ahead.
I went to Home Depot a month ago, and they had the Christmas stuff up. This was the beginning of October,
Yeah.
and they had everything out. The whole aisle was trees and everything. It's like,
Yeah.
let's put 3 months out, guys.
It's
The
so
worst,
strange.
I think the worst day is the 26th, when everything just fucking stops. There's no fade out. There's no, all right, there's a few songs we'll still play.
Oh no,
it's just the end.
No, we drag it out. We
Yeah,
drag it out
personal
until
lives. We
yeah.
might drag stuff out. We leave the decorations up and stuff. But the radio, all the songs stop.
Dude, radio
really?
pisses me off. In the last couple of years, they've stopped Christmas music at 4:00 on Christmas Day.
No,
It's like,
way.
you motherfucker. I swear to God. The Long Island radio station that goes to Christmas music, it's
that's
walk. Everybody
bullshit.
knows what it is. They fucking stop at like 5 or 6 o'clock on Christmas Day
that's not
after
good.
going for an entire month. You can't go till midnight at least? What the fuck is that?
I mean, especially, I would go, yeah, you got to go Christmas Day. You go till after dinner, at least, to the end of the day.
Yeah.
But the 26th, yeah, everything stops. The movies, the TV shows, the music. It's just, it doesn't fade away. And there are songs, I think, that just because Christmas ends doesn't mean those songs have to go away. Like Winter Wonderland, you could still play. Jingle Bells, you could, people like the Sinatra Jingle, you could play those songs.
Like there's
They're
some
not-
hoes in this house.
There's
Yeah,
some
they should
hoes
still-
in this house. There are some songs that are not just Christmas, they're winter songs, and you could play those,
Right.
but they don't do it. That's why I'm going to run a radio station and play all Christmas, 24 hours, 365.
I'm excited for Christmas, though. I fucking
Love Christmas.
Christmas. Jsabs, you love Christmas too, right? Maybe we can keep this together.
Well,
tonight.
like I say, when I love Christmas, so when you walk into my house, it looks like Christmas threw up.
That's good. That's the best.
De
What's
Blasio.
this?
De Blasio. He's trying to take Christmas away from us.
Does he do this?
No. A couple of people sent this to me, and I wanted to share it with everybody. De Blasio, who claims to be like this huge like Star Trekky guy, was like, "Oh,
God.
I'm gonna dress up like Captain Kirk for Halloween," and he was wearing the blue Trekkie shirt, which is Spock. Apparently,
that
so
is
he
Spock.
fucked up his own costume.
I think Kirk was yellow, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah, like that mustardy, greenish, yellow.
Way to go, dipshit.
God, I can't get anything right.
Come on, man. You think you'd have
swear.
someone telling him.
Yeah,
Or
What
What does he get
Googling it.
right?
Just Google it. It takes 2 seconds.
he's like, I'm a huge Trekkie. You'll see me tomorrow. I'll be dressed up as Captain Kirk. He shows up
Yep.
in the fucking Spock.
Yeah,
Don't have to Google
he's
it, I
just like
know.
an idiot. That's it. He's just like a big idiot.
I
Yeah.
know it's blue. You can't fool me.
Nobody likes
Right.
him. By
No.
the way, though, he will be running for president of the United States. That's
Really?
fucking scary.
No, even if he
Good
does,
luck.
he won't make it to the primaries.
He'll
There's no
go
way.
as far as Chris Christie, right?
Exactly.
He's gonna be. Yeah,
I
he's
put
gonna-
that. You know what? Those two could be brothers. Like I don't know. They look and sound the same.
The creme de la creme on the East Coast here.
They look like a real life Bert and Ernie is what those two fucking look like.
Okay.
Weekend recap. I had my couple's date with the parents of the kid that my kid's friends with now. So we got to like pretend that we got to be
How'd that
friends.
go?
It was good. You know, I got to say it was good. They're super nice people. I don't
Wait
want...
a second. Before you go any further,
Yeah.
do they watch the show or do they listen to the show?
Clearly not.
They don't.
Because
Okay,
he said I have to be. Because I have to be.
I just want to know what kind of answer we're getting.
Yeah, I thought they might have because my wife mentioned it to them, but they don't. Or maybe they did and they just didn't get to the part where, because I feel like they would have. People tend to bring it up if I talk about somebody and then I see them, they bring it up right away, or they'll text me right away as soon as they hear it on the show.
Right.
They did not, and of course we had a couple of things. Like there was a couple of instances where I was like, oh, if he or she were watching the show, they wouldn't have said that.
Okay.
Right.
Judging where my stance is on most things. Like,
Oh,
I'll give
God.
you a for instance. And again, lovely people. Big fans of theirs. But one of them was like, oh, I'm a big fan of Tucker Carlson. And I was like, okay, actually, let me tell you about Tucker Carlson.
Why would you even bring up politics?
It wasn't a politics situation, but something came up and they were, one of them was like, oh, I like Tucker Carlson. And I was like, well, let me tell you a little bit about that. I couldn't let it go. I was like, let me tell you a little bit about our good buddy Tucker. And I kind of told her some of the things. And
how'd you take that?
She definitely, you know how like you talk about people on the way home? She definitely talked about you on the way home.
Believe that Anthony
to her husband.
Couldn't believe
that
he said
guy's
all
a
that.
dick.
Probably, but it wasn't like they were gonna die on that mountain. It was more like, you know, how you say like, oh, I like so and so, and then somebody tells you something about them and you're like, oh, okay, maybe they are dicks. I don't know. Like, you know, it was more like that.
All right, so
Whatever.
that was good. At least I had an open mind a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. A little bit. But it went well. You know, we had a good time. We had a couple of drinks. It was nice. You know, the I do want to hear this moment. I didn't know what to do. I don't like to draw attention to myself.
Oh, God. What'd you do?
So
He either fell asleep or shat his pants like Biden. Go ahead.
I shit my pants. Yeah, it was, yeah. It was a lot of guacamole, so it was a highly pants shittable moment, to be honest with you.
You didn't mess that up. Go ahead.
But so you know how they wrap up the utensils in a napkin?
Yes.
So food comes and I unwrap my utensils and in the fork is this just huge wrapped up around the fork onion, like cooked, solidified, petrified onion, which you could tell wasn't cleaned properly and then thrown into the pile, and somebody wrapped it up and, you know, stuck it in the clean pile, and it wound up on our table. And I was,
oh no!
So I pulled it out, and I'm disgusted. I'm like, oh, but I don't want to be like that guy. And plus, the thing I ordered didn't really require a fork, so I kind of just like put it off to the side and left it there. Yeah.
So you didn't tell them?
No.
So something happened to me at the place you went to, but another location. In the guacamole, in the salsa was like a piece of, what's it called? Oh God. It's like rope. It's like rope. What's it called?
Twine?
What's that called? Twine.
String?
It was a piece of twine in there. And I took my chip. No, I didn't double dip, Frank. Seinfeld reference.
Nice. Well done.
How you like me now? How you like me now?
I like that you're into it. Go ahead.
And I put it in there, scoop my chip in there, and I put it in my mouth. I'm like, what's this?
Oh.
And I'm like, is this a fucking rat's tail?
Oh.
And I was like, are you fucking kidding? And I was like, what do I do? And I was like, oh no, it's just a piece of twine.
At the very least, you know that wasn't someone else's food.
Right.
It was just wrapping of a box that whatever the hell you were eating came in.
Yeah.
So I told the waitress, and she's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then did nothing else about it. And I'm like, what?
Did it replace it at least to give you a new?
No, she gave me a new one, but like, hello, take something off the bill. Sorry, that's just what you do. That is just what you do.
Yeah, you offer a free dessert.
Yeah,
or
we're not going
something
to charge
like
you for this, whatever you just ordered.
Yeah.
Piece of twine.
For this
Now, wait,
twine.
Was this the same restaurant, just a different location? Is that what you
Correct.
said? Same company,
Yep.
same restaurant.
Yep.
I think I have an idea of what restaurant we're talking about, based on context clues.
And honestly, like if they weren't so good, I probably wouldn't have gone back there.
The food is really, I will say the food is good though. Like even I was willing to I was really disgusted by the
So you didn't
onion.
tell him? You didn't tell him at all?
No, I didn't say.
You got to pull a waiter aside.
Here's what you should do. Here's what I would do if I were you. I would actually call the manager and be like, listen, I didn't want to make a big deal, but this is what happened to me. Because
that's why they learn and they know what's going on.
You're probably right.
Not to get anybody in trouble, just to be like, listen, this is what happened.
I feel so bad because I know how short-staffed everybody is right now.
Yeah, but you know what? You can't.
I mean, if I needed a fork, I would have been forced to be like, can you get me a cleaner fork? Can I have a clean fork, please? You know, I would have definitely done that, but I didn't really need it. So I just, pushed
So you
it
left the
aside.
onion on there. Okay.
It was a gross, disgusting.
See,
I forgot till this moment how much Frank hates onions. I think Frank would have passed out if he saw the size of this fucking onion.
I've matured lately. I don't hate all onions.
Thank you for telling me that.
It
Go
wasn't
ahead.
raw. It was cooked because it was brown.
Cooked is fine, but what I hate is when the onion is stringy. Like if you put onion in sauce and it's like got that stringiness to it.
See, I don't like that either. And
No,
that's
I
why I
hate
don't
that.
put onions in my sauce.
I like
I can't.
little tiny chopped onions. Is
Yes.
fine.
Let
But
me
even
ask
that,
my
I
wife.
don't really like that. No.
Did you notice at the meal on Saturday that I had when I unwrapped my fork and knife, there was an old like crustied up onion. You did notice it? You saw it? I said it to you? No, it didn't go flying. No, I did not say it to everyone.
Oh, I
No,
love
I
how
I guess someone had a few drinks and forgot about it.
you're
Oh,
talking
she
like we
was-
are on TV.
She was
Like
whacked
so we
out
don't
of
have
it.
to hear the other side of the
I had to
conversation.
carry
Right.
my wife out of there. All right, so long story short, I'm gonna get to the Janine part of this, but we were in this town that is known for partying, is where we were going for dinner, and we were surprised. The couple and I, we were saying how shocking it was that at 8:00 when we met for dinner, it was very quiet. Because unlike this town, usually it's jam packed. We were in Patchogue, Frank, so usually it's jam packed.
Okay, yeah.
And then when we got out of the place, then we saw it was like crazy. And it turns out it was the night before Halloween. So clearly nobody was out for dinner, but everybody was going out for drinks afterwards. And there was my wife and I, as these like drunk 20-year-olds were like stumbling in front of us as we were walking out of the place. And we just felt like the old people on the block. And my wife literally at one point said to somebody like stumbling by, make good choices.
Oh,
Because she was like, oh, I'm
Wow.
sorry. And she's like, no, it's okay. Just make good choices.
I love it.
Boy.
I love it.
They're so fucking
She's a
old.
mom.
All right, so this is
Mom
what
speak.
happened. So we're sitting there eating dinner. We're on our couple's date. We're getting ready to basically dump the two of you and any of our old friends.
Right.
Full on replacements. We're getting ready to build a new roster out. It's going to be great.
Yeah, with a couple
I'm
of
even-
Tucker lovers.
I'm even thinking about getting them
How
on the
about
podcast. So we might turn this friendship thing
You
into
mean the
a
one they
business.
don't even watch?
Yeah, exactly. The one they're not allowed to watch because you talk
First of
shit
all,
about them.
First of all, Janine doesn't watch this podcast, so that's clearly not a requirement to be on.
That's true.
That's
Good
true.
point. A
So
decent point.
anyway, we're sitting there having a lovely dinner when all of a sudden, to my left, I see a shadow of a person walking towards the table. Now, I grab my onion fork and think I'm going to stab this person's eye out if they're coming to take me out.
Obviously, it was a vampire. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Oh, no,
if-
that's garlic. Go ahead.
Nobody's allowed to approach your table at a restaurant
well, no, because it wasn't a
without
server.
you
I,
stabbing them.
I knew that. And I didn't know if
Okay.
it was some crazed person, mad at me for my trans, I don't.
Who's bombing you?
I'm just saying. I took Chappelle's side. I'm worried. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah,
these
exactly.
days. When I look up, but it's none other than my old pal. Actually, my favorite person in the whole wide world, to be honest with you, out of all of our friends.
I wasn't there.
But Leanne, the nicest person I know,
Ah, nice.
who is also
Small world.
subsequently Janine's sister-in-law.
Correct.
Yes.
I almost blew that. So
Very good.
I don't know how Janine's sister-in-law knew that we were there. Or I think there was some sort of text messagey conversation that we were going to, or I think we met. I don't know how it happened, but Janine and her sister-in-law were at a nearby place, unbeknownst to me, celebrating Janine's husband's 40th year on this planet. Big 4-0.
That looks like 04 to us.
Yeah. So Janine basically, so this is what happened. Janine got word that we were on our couple's date and sent over her sister-in-law on a reconnaissance mission.
It's true.
To ruin the whole thing.
I hear her laughing.
I'm just surprised I wasn't invited to either of these occasions.
Oh.
You both go out to a nice dinner in Patchogue. And
we didn't go out to dinner.
You were in the place.
No.
You didn't eat there where Anthony spot?
No. Oh, no. Oh, no, Frank. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me fill in. Let me fill in the blank for you. They were at another place having their own little party.
Yes.
And which wasn't even dinner, right? Did
Nope.
you even have dinner? You guys were just having drinks.
That's it.
And she sent Leanne over to break up our evening. I don't know. Leanne was like, hey, the swingers party's getting a little cold. You guys come in? Like in front of these new people. It was awfully embarrassing.
Yeah, you got to work that in naturally. You can't just
and they were like, we got to go. Look at
so
the time.
So when Leanne showed up, were you like, what are you doing here? This isn't what it looks like.
Basically. Yeah,
I swear, we just met them and they had no extra tables, so we just sat with them.
They had car trouble, and
So then I forgot who I don't even know who I texted, but I was like, oh, it was Nick maybe. So then I text Nick and I was like, where are you guys? And he says where he is. So I Googled it. So I said so then I find out basically that they're there for Guy's birthday party, which wasn't even a big thing. Were you making a big thing? Did you tell anybody else about it?
No.
Would you have told us about it had you not been trying to break up our new friendship?
I cannot comment on that matter. Thank you.
That's what I thought.
I like to see you lean towards your lawyer for a little.
So then Nick says where he's at, and I Google it, and it's a 5-minute walk, Frank. It's a 5-minute walk, but it's like a little rainy. So I said to him, I said, well, can you guys come a little bit closer here? Because then we'll meet you.
Fucking lazy.
And he was like, no. And then I felt bad about it. And then plus I just wanted to laugh at Janine for trying to break up our newfound friendship. And so I was like, okay, we will meet you. I swear to you, we are midway through this walk, and I go, I cannot believe in the midst of drunken assholes and some shady characters that Leanne, poor little innocent Leanne from Baltimore, will fucking walk this whole thing by herself.
You think that it's a far walk?
That yes, my wife put. We saw people stumbling drunk. We saw shady characters, and we saw a woman being tackled by 15 of Patchogue's finest. And arrested, or bravest, or finest, whatever the cops are called, and she was being arrested in the middle of this whole melee.
That actually was me, but thank you.
Yeah, a friend of her was like, "You should be taking your meds," and it was raining. By the way, it was also raining. And Leanne walked in. I forgot to mention this part. Leanne walked into our restaurant with cat whiskers painted on her fucking face. Just like, hey guys.
You know what's really funny? She said she didn't realize you guys were there with another couple. And when she went to the table and saw there was someone there, she was so embarrassed because they were probably like, who the fuck is this girl?
Who the hell is this? What an awkward moment that had to be, because you're going to be like, oh, you want to sit? Or what are you doing? What's going on?
Yeah.
How did that, all right, see you later. And she just leaves.
I don't know. Was it awkward? It was a little awkward, I guess.
No, but they said that, Leanne was so nice.
Well, what were they
she's not going to be anything but nice.
It was a crazy blonde dressed as a cat in the middle of the
Yeah, but Leanne has that,
Could have been me.
No, She has that like bubbly, like sweet, nice, and she'll make eye
I bet you they were.
contact
Did
with
you talk to them afterwards?
No, I haven't spoken to her, and I haven't
Since?
Yeah.
Let's see, it's ruined.
And
Oh,
Yes.
then their convo.
But it's not 3 days later yet. Tomorrow they'll give
Right.
you a call.
We tell
Right.
each other what time we're going this week,
And
I
she
haven't heard
didn't.
from
She
her.
didn't respond.
No.
Yeah.
You
They'll talk to you
Well, it was
tomorrow.
either the-
You bastards
you
messed
coming on
up
too
my
strong.
friends.
It was either Leanne or the Tucker Carlson thing. I'm not sure which one. ruined
Definitely,
it.
definitely the Tucker
Strikes
thing.
one and
Sorry
two.
to tell you.
Strikes 1 and 2.
And
like-
three.
They're
You
like they
can't-
don't
you
like
can't-
Tucker Carlson, and they got weird old blondes dressed as kittens coming up.
You can't come on too strong. You gotta, you're
Yeah.
trying
Ease
to
into that.
coax the squirrel over. You can't make big sudden movement. Another
Okay.
Seinfeld reference. Sorry.
So what happened there, Janine? How did we get to that place where Leanne decided to? Because I did not text Leanne. I asked my wife. I go, did you text Leanne telling her where we are? She said, nope, I did not. How did that come about?
I did not know you were with another couple.
Lie.
Solemnly swear. And then Lee's like, then Dee told me that you guys were at blah blah blah. So I was like, oh, we were all like, oh, did they answer you back? No, okay, fine. And then that was it. She's like, I'll go over there. I'm like, okay, then we could go over there. Oh wait,
What?
did I know you guys were going there before? I knew you were going to Patchogue, but she's like, I'll go. And I was like, you sure? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, fine. Then I was learning this new dance move with this guy in a scream mask. Were you there for that when he came, when we were doing it for a while?
No,
Oh,
That's
too
what
bad.
she said.
Okay.
no. Then I had to walk 15 fucking miles to get to this stupid place, and much like
It
your
was
brother,
5 minutes.
I don't know. It was a long way.
Yeah.
And then so we're like, oh, let's have a drink. And then I said to your husband, I'm like, do you want a drink? And he was like, no. I could have wanted a drink.
See, this is what pisses me off about him. He didn't want to party. He did not want to do anything really for his birthday. And then we had a few drinks. And then he's like, I just don't feel, you know what messed him up? He had a beer. And I'm like, why are you having a beer? Just keep drinking vodka, obviously.
The guy does what he wants. The guy told you what he wanted for his birthday. He wanted to do nothing.
Yeah, but
He just
listen,
probably
40
just wanted to stay home and watch Star Wars.
Yes, that's what he wanted to do. And maybe he probably had to take a shit at that point, because I don't know if you know this, but when you get to a certain age, 3 cocktails
go,
in,
man.
and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I got to shit.
oh God, no.
It's a fun age.
I said to my wife, because we got to this place, and my wife was like, you're going to have a beer? I go, if I have a beer, I'm going to shit all over the place.
I don't know. I don't know if that's necessarily an age thing or if it's a you thing.
Maybe it might be a me thing. I don't
Beer
know.
doesn't do that to me.
I was just like, anything carbonated is not going to work for me right
Oh,
now.
boy.
So, but I wound up buying. I don't even know. Okay, here was an awkward situation that I ran into. Husband doesn't want to drink. Janine ordered a drink the same time we ordered a drink, so I said, put that on my tab. And then I felt weird because Janine told me. Janine goes, oh, order a drink. I have a tab open. But I wanted to buy the husband a drink. He didn't want it. So I said, all right, I'll buy her a drink. And then it bothered me because I wanted to say something to Janine, only because I didn't want to get her. I don't want her to get charged for the same drinks, which is why I appreciate we have a podcast. So did you get
I
charged?
did not.
Okay. All right.
I made sure.
Okay, good. But you didn't get charged for your drink either. I was worried that he was going to fucking. Because this is what else happened. Sunday, we go to this hoity-toity neighborhood.
Oh,
We
God.
go to one of the Hamptons for the fucking Halloween thing. And the kids are getting hungry around lunchtime. So I go, let's go to the bagel place. Go to the bagel place. This is what we ordered from a bagel place. Okay. The kids each got a cream cheese bagel. My wife got, what did you get? An egg salad sandwich. My wife got egg salad with lettuce and tomato. I got an American combo. So it's ham, turkey, roast beef, American cheese, lettuce, tomato, mayo.
You gotta
on a
tell us the
bagel.
big price. That's what
On a
you're going
bagel.
after here. Because the
Four-
American thing's got to be like $15.
4 items, 2 bags of chips, 4 drinks. Can you guess how much that was?
I will say $56.99.
Janine,
I will say $45.92.
$74.
That's insane.
$74. So, by the way, I never worry about like people.
That's
I don't
ridiculous. That's
I don't
$20
even-
a head almost.
Yeah, I don't even hear. They go, I order stuff, they say the price, I don't even listen, and I hand them the card. I just never worry about it. So I hand the girl the card, she hands me the card back. Now I'm looking at the thing, and I'm like, it was like $73.94, whatever it was. And now I'm like, and I'm like, fuck, wait, for what? Now I saw her put in $1.50 for lettuce and tomato, and I was like, that seems like a bit steep for lettuce and tomato, but whatever. We're in the Hamptons, it's kind of like a Hamptons thing. Then I'm sitting there, and now it's starting to like bubble inside of me. Like, I can't go up there now and say something, but I'm pretty sure she rang up somebody. It didn't fucking clear, and then she added all my shit.
Did you get the receipt?
No, she didn't give me the receipt,
Oh, that's
and
bull.
I always turn it down anyway.
Well,
Yeah,
now
me
you're
too,
gonna
but
have
if you
to.
gotta-
Now you're gonna have to call back and ask for an
Yeah, if you got-
itemized receipt.
If
You want
there's a
me to?
discrepancy,
You want me to?
It's kind of killing me. So the guy after me ordered 6 things because he had a family of 6. They had a hamburger, chicken fingers. They each had an egg thing, and theirs came up to $96. And I said, there's got to be at least $100, And then when it came up to 96, I felt better about it. But then I thought about it. Theirs was only $22 more, and they got 2 additional things. Plus, they had a burger and chicken fingers, which is way more than 2 cream cheese bagels
yeah.
and 2
Now,
sandwiches.
did they get drinks? Because sometimes those drinks are like $3-4.
Yeah, they got drinks. They had drinks too, didn't they? The family of 6.
Yeah, you got screwed.
They had yoo-hoos too. Yoo-hoos are pricey.
I think you got screwed, buddy.
You
Fucking supply
surprised.
chain. Thanks a lot.
You got you
Biden.
screwed.
Thanks,
Screw it.
Biden. Let's go, Brandon.
Biden and Buttigieg fucked me
Clever.
over on that bagel deal.
Yeah, no, you got screwed.
But a gig.
And
$73.
Hamptons, you're paying for Hamptons tomatoes. You got to bring home the Hamptons tomatoes.
Even when I saw $1.50 go in, I kind of, you're like, oh, that's weird. But you just kind of move on with life. And then it's just
Oh
like,
no, I won't.
it's kind of burning my ass because I kind of,
Oh,
Right.
you definitely got screwed.
especially because the woman that rang me up was a little smug. I didn't care for that at all.
She's like, I'm gonna charge you $150 times 2.
Yeah, whatever, man. She screwed you.
You want me to call for an itemized receipt? Because you bet your fucking ass I will. Okay.
Yeah. Can I call American Express? Will they give me that?
No, you have to call the store and say, because they keep the receipts, or they're supposed to.
She
Yeah,
definitely
they're
got
not
the
gonna
receipt.
know.
Listen,
They're not gonna know your order from anybody else's. Oh yeah, you got the credit card.
yeah, I'm
It's
sorry.
Like, it
Yeah.
would have been psychotic if I asked for it 2 minutes later. Asking for it 3 days later looks way worse.
Oh no, you should be like, I'm sorry. I'm looking through my bank statement right now, and I got charged $70-something for breakfast. Like, what? There has to be a mistake. Can you tell me what was on my bill, please? Thank you. There you go.
I doubt they'd be able to get it because if you ring it up on a register, and then you just punch the total into the credit card machine, it's not going to give you an itemized.
Or you know what you could do? This is what also you could do. Do they have a website?
Mhm.
And if they have a website with the menu, with the prices, or if you can order from
There you
like
go.
Chow Now or DoorDash from there, see how much it costs.
That's a good
See
idea.
exactly how much it would cost.
Or just call them up, give them the same order, and say how much would all this come out to.
Yes.
Janine said that they have a website. We can go online and see what their prices are. And then
Special
Frank followed
Halloween
up with,
prices.
yeah, we can call and order the same shit and see what the total is that they give us. That's pretty good.
I
But
think
here's the
you're
thing too.
screwed.
It's one of these bagel stores where there's 12 of them. They're in each town. And so
Oh wait, is it BC?
no.
No.
I'll put it. I'll text it to you guys because I don't want to defame anybody. But my point is I've been to this bagel store in other locations and haven't had an issue.
Right.
The prices have been just fine, and I figured it might be a little bit kicked up more because of the Hamptons that I'm in. This particular Hamptons town. but-
That is possible. The Hamptons, the holiday weekend. Have you been there since
Yeah, but what-
before COVID? I'm sure stuff has gone up.
Is it a holiday surcharge now? Because I went on a friggin' holiday.
Hamptons and New York City, they charge you whatever they want and they don't care. It's a different set of laws. It's like it's Thunderdome out there. You pay what they want you to pay, and the airports doesn't matter. Prices are irrelevant. They just ask you $50. Doesn't matter what you bought.
That's really what's happening right now. It's just like, I don't know what this is. Let me just mark this up like insane. Because you know what it is? Half of us, we're just happy to be living anymore. We're just happy to be out living and doing things that we're paying these insane prices for shit.
Plus, they got to compete with online. They're not going to do that by lowering their prices because no one's coming anyway. So they got to. It's a tough game out there. So they raise the prices to see if they can get any more cash-ol in the machine, and that's that.
All right, so I guess this will be our what would you do? Would you call this place up?
I think we solved it for you. You just look up the menu and write down what you ordered and just add it all up yourself.
Wait, hold on. This is a breaking development because now that you said this, my wife's looking up the place. What is there a hubbub about it? Don't say the name of the place, but you could say what people are saying.
So someone said they ordered an egg and cheese on a whole wheat everything bagel, and it with a little bit of hash browns on the side, and it came to $28.
Oh,
one egg and cheese.
Ordered egg and cheese on a whole wheat everything bagel, a veggie omelet,
and
that's
omelet.
what came to $28. The veggie omelet and an egg and cheese pizza.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
So you know what?
Price.
Now
crazy.
you know what I need to
Here's
do.
Another one.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna need to order stuff and then not pick it up. I'm sorry, but
No,
they are absolutely.
Don't do that.
They are raping people. You didn't even get a handy with this. Are you sure?
No, not even an offer.
You see, you got screwed. Not
My
in a good
phone
way.
is gonna overheat and
Well,
blow up on me.
I
So
want Frank
that's
to
why.
know that we thought of him while we were out without him, and we took a picture
Oh God.
at Janine's husband's birthday celebration, just in honor of Frank.
Well, whenever you guys go out, you should always think of me.
we do, because we were like, oh, it's most of the program here, and so there we go.
That doesn't make any sense. Why would you?
No, that's we made Leanne get in the photo, and we were like, hey, you represent Frank, and because we're expert photoshoppers here at the podcast.
It's seamless. You can't even tell.
Yeah.
Can you put that up on Instagram? Thank you.
I don't know where the picture ends and Leanne begins. I don't know how you did that.
Well, we got people working around the clock. I feel like you're being a little facetious, and I know that wouldn't be appreciated by all the hard workers that we have here at the podcast.
That had to take all of about 10 seconds. So
Well,
I
that's
appreciate
hurtful.
That's what she said.
Look, the lighting matches up perfectly.
We thought like, oh, let's take a picture and we'll just roll you right in, Frank, and we'll be like, hey, everybody, we're all having a good time. We're really friends. And this is your attitude.
Yeah, it's very sweet of you to do that. It's nice. I appreciate it.
Did we
At
not
least the
take
two
that
of
picture?
you? At least the two of you are compared to actors. I got a friggin' murderer.
I don't know. I kind of want that instead.
A murderer?
Yeah.
No, somebody compared me to somebody. Wait, hold on. Let me go to
Jack
Twitter.
Black.
You're the guy from that What We Do in the Shadows. That's you.
I'll take Jack Black. Does anybody know who General Rodriguez is from Tropico 6?
No.
This is what. Do I look like that?
Let me see.
No.
Oh my God.
No,
That
you
looks like
don't.
that looks like the Spanish guy from Boogie Nights. What's that?
It
guy's
is.
name?
It is.
Like that guy.
It is him.
No, this is you.
Don't put up that same stupid. That's not.
It's a different photo, but that's you.
I look more.
And
like
the character,
cartoon
if you
guy.
watch the character, it looks like you. He acts like you too.
No, I'll give you character.
I'm telling you, that's you. If there's anybody out there, that's the closest that I've seen come, to you. Okay.
All right. Let us know in the comments what you would do about this bagel overcharge. And also, what would you do if a friend of yours sent her sister-in-law to break up your new friendship? I'd like to just asking for a friend. If we could figure that out, that'd be great.
Be
Don't
right
forget
back.
to
Going to order a bagel.
Don't forget to order your JUMPSTART. By the way, JUMPSTART Coffee Company. appropriately priced.
There you go.
Yeah.
Appropriately priced, wonderfully priced for a company that gives 50% of their profits to the Navy SEALs Foundation.
No, that's
Not only
nice.
that, 15% off the top. Boom.
And
Boom,
15%
done.
off when you use the promo code AOA15 at checkout. Use the link in the description of this episode to purchase, or you can click on the banner at the homepage of AnthonyOnAir.com, which also has our merch store. Grab some awesome merch right now, including this Anthony On Air mug, which you can get along with assorted other wonderful items.
Merch it up, baby.
Thank you guys so much for watching and or listening, and we will catch you on the next episode.